Hello and welcome to week 4 of AC1110. Remember that the contact information is over here. If you have any questions, we have the email address, we've got the phone number, and we also have office hours on Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Office hours are not required, but they are a good spot that is carved out to talk at that time if you would choose to do so. It is going to be in a question and answer format, so if you got questions, that would be a good time to answer them. It is a different phone number though, so it is going to be a conference call number, so multiple people could call into it. It's going to be this number here, and it will have this login code. And if we so choose, we can also use some screen share software in order to look over things and work through problems in that format as well. This is an effective tool, the screen share software. I do suggest using it with each other as well, so you could contact other students in an online setting by going to participants and sending what I call a Moodle message to other students. And then if you wanted to set up a screen share by Skype or joinme.com or some other free software out there where you can share each other's screens and work through some problems in Excel, I would suggest doing that. I think that is helpful to do. Also note that many of the problems that we will be working are going to have example problems that will have a video and maybe an example worksheet as well. Most of the videos will be housed on this website. So if you wanted to go to that website directly, you can go to this website like so. You can check out the Charter College classes and you're in the accounting fundamentals. If you want to look at some other classes or some other materials that could come up in accounting or just some added resources, here's some other materials that could come up in future type classes as well as over here. If for any reason this page is not coming up as quickly as it should, or you're having some issues with it, just realize I'm going to go back to Moodlerooms, that you could also use the YouTube channel here. So if you go into the YouTube channel, this often works better if you're going to use a phone or something like that, or if the internet connection is slow. It's going to be in here. It's going to be under Charter College. Here you're in AC1110, so this is a playlist, they call it. And most of the videos for the classes should be housed in here somewhere. Again, it might not be in the same order, but most of the lectures and problems should be in here somewhere. So you might want to take a look at that as well. I'm going to go back to the Moodlerooms over here. Scroll down to the current week that we are in, which is, of course, week 4. So in week 4, it should be coming somewhat more routine now. We're going to have the objectives up top. I'll let you take a look at those. We've got the topics. I'll let you take a look at those. And then we have the lessons. So the lessons are going to be Chapter 4 and Chapter 5. So in essence, we're doing Chapter 4 and Chapter 5. We started Chapter 4 last time. We're going to concentrate mainly on Chapter 4 this time. And then we're going to start Chapter 5. And then in the following week, in week 5, the last week, we are just going to have Chapter 5, and then we'll have the final. So we might have a little bit more time to wrap things up in the final week, although Chapter 5 is a long chapter, and we do have some problems to work on it in week 5 as well. You've got your video links here, so you can take a look at those. Some of them will repeat, and that's by design. We do want to repeat some of it, and some of these, like the building blocks, are going to be something that's going to be used throughout all the accounting classes. It's going to be the core concepts, so you want to take a look at that and try to understand it better and better each time as you go. I would just keep reviewing it and see if you're getting that information in different ways and different formats. And of course, if it's not linking as quickly as you want, you could go to those websites or the YouTube page and find that as well. We have the information down here. Remember that this is the area where you really want to check things off at. So even though we're going to do a lot of the work in Connect, some of the stuff is not in Connect. So when you just want to check things off and say, did I do that? And you want to check them off on this page. So the things that we're going to have, same as the other weeks, we're going to have a discussion forum. We're going to have assignments, one assignment being in Connect, one assignment being in Moodlerooms. Then we have the homework. Those will be in Connect. Those are the Learn Smarts. And then we have the quiz. That will be in Connect as well. So much of this will be in Connect, and all you want to do in here is just make sure that you've checked it off. You're saying, okay, I did this, I did this, I did this. All right, we're going to start off with the discussions. Hopefully the discussions are becoming somewhat more routine. I do want to point out discussions worth 21% of the grade, which is a very large part of the grade for discussions. So I would approach all these Charter College classes in this format. Try to get 100% on that 21% for the discussions. Try to get as close to full credit on the assignments and the homework as possible. I know there's a lot of work there, but given the resources, I think we can pick up a lot of points on them. And then go into the quiz and the tests. with as big a point cushion as possible, because the quizzes and the tests are worth 33%. That's a substantial part of the grade, but it's not, huge. It's not a huge piece of the grade. So if you pick up all the other points, or as much of them as possible, if you do not do as well in the quizzes, which you have the least amount of control over, then you could still pick up a good grade by using that format, by picking up as many other points as possible. So how do we pick up full credit on the discussion forums? Hopefully it's becoming more clear at this point that we need a minimum of 4 posts. If we break this down to its essence, within the week we'd need a minimum of 4 posts. I recommend posting more than that. Like, I'd recommend posting like 6 to 8 times, really, because you want to make sure to pick up a full credit on the discussion forum posts. They account upwards, meaning more posts, generally a post can give you credit. A post may not earn any points, but you can never like lose points on a post. There's no such thing as you got a bad grade on a post, because posts only accumulate. So you could get a maximum credit in 4 good posts, but if the posts are not great, then all that happens is it's going to take more posts to accumulate the amount of points needed to get full credit. So although you could get there in 4 posts, you really want to post more than that just to make sure that you're going to get there. It's a different type of grading. I obviously will also put in a bunch of questions in there that is just there to help everybody to get as the minimum of 4 posts and more posts if possible. So if I ask questions to your particular post, you can't answer them. You don't have to answer them. You can answer any other posts that are out there. All right, then we have the assignments. We've got 1 in Connect and we've got 1 in Moodlerooms. So this one in Connect will of course be in Connect over here. So here's the Connect account, and this is the longer assignment. Now it's first in the Moodle shell. You might want to do actually the homeworks first, which are the Learn Smarts, but the assignment here is going to be the longer assignment. It's going to have the pad. Remember when you do the assignment that this paperclip will help with the assignment most of the time. It usually has a video tab on it on the Excel worksheet, as well as an example problem. So although these assignments are long in nature, much of the format could be picked up fairly quickly with fairly little time by just looking at the example problem and or watching the video. This is really where you pick up most of the information, these comprehensive problems, because it gives you the whole picture as well. So I do recommend spending some time on that. Just make sure you're looking at this resource in order to help you out with this problem, and you should be able to pick up a good deal of points on those. I'm going to go back to the Moodlerooms. Then we have the assignment in Moodlerooms. This is Moodlerooms. What we just looked at was Connect. If you go into this one, then you'll see this drop down and you'll want to open this assignment. This is an Excel document. And then once you finish it, you're going to upload that Excel document here. There's going to be a thing that says submit once the week has started. You want to submit this one to Moodlerooms here, not to Connect there. And note that if I go to Connect, I see this paperclip which it'll have the same worksheet. So it's possible to upload it here, but it's not going to be graded if you upload it here. So if you have uploaded anything to the paperclip in prior weeks, then just upload it to Moodlerooms and I'll give you full credit on it. So just make sure that you're getting this assignment into Moodlerooms. Anything with a paperclip in terms of these classes means that it's not something you're going to have to turn into Connect. It may be something you're going to have to turn into Moodlerooms. And it's usually just something that's going to help you out with a particular problem, such as this paperclip helps out with this problem. So I'm going to go back to Moodlerooms, and then I'm looking at the cookie trail. I'm going to go back to the current section. I'm going to scroll down to week 4 once again, scroll down to where we were at, and we then have the homeworks. 2 homeworks. We got the 2 Learn Smarts. Again, you want to check them off in Moodlerooms, but of course the homeworks will be done in Connect. So Connect is up here, and these are the homeworks. On the homeworks, want to point out that there should only be like 25 to 35 max, 35 questions max. Once you have completed it, there's usually going to be a thing over here that says complete. And once that happens, you could still go in there and work on problems, but you want to make sure that if it says something like you have 90 some questions, just make sure you realize that it shouldn't have 90 some questions. Either most of the time when that happens, people have completed the assignment and have gone back in there. So just keep that in mind. It should have a complete button here, and if you have any questions on why there's 90 some questions, there should only be 25 to 30. then it's probably because it's been completed. But if you got questions on it, ask me. And then I'm going to go back to the Moodlerooms, and then of course we have the quiz. That will be in Connect as well. That's going to be the last thing. Make sure to do the quiz by Sunday. Can't usually be made up unless there's an unusual circumstance in which you'd have to contact me, and I take that on a case-by-case basis. Going to scroll up to the Gradebook. So here's the Gradebook. Week 3 grades should be in there by Tuesday, probably Monday night even, if I get real good at it. But that means that you want to check the grades on Tuesday or Wednesday, and make sure that everything is updated through week 2. So for week 3. So for example, the discussion forum should go from a dash to a grade in it. As long as it has a dash, that means that it has not been included in the gradebook. And that'll be the same for the midterm here and the assignments down here. Once that happens, you want to verify that it looks correct on your end, because obviously you've been checking it off on the Moodle sheet, and you know exactly what it should look like. You have a vision of exactly what it should look like, and then you're going to verify that it is in conformity with what you know it should be. And if it's not, then let me know if you have any questions. If you have any zeros in this area as of week 3 at that time, then think about picking up the late work on that. Most of the late work can be picked up. You do want to do it in order if possible, because week 2 really needs to be done before any other week. Chapter 2 needs to be done before chapter 3, which basically is week 2 and 3. But chapter 3 is going to be really hard to do if we don't understand the concepts for chapter 2. So keep that in mind. It is cumulative. And then, of course, the week 4 that we are in now, you're going to grade through that. And then on Monday or Tuesday following the end of week 4, I will enter the grades for both late work as well as grades through week 4. And you'll verify that going into the final week at that time. And that's it for week 4. So have a great week 4.